Hello everybody, today we are making a baby crib. My brother and his fiancée are expecting a little girl and we decided we would make a bed for her. According to their taste, we decided to use basswood, which is very tender, so it's ideal for our first project. First of all, we measure and annotate carefully all the parts we need. We use the format saw we just acquired. We have to take into account the cracks of the wood and avoid the knots. And we also have to mind the thickness of the boards. As you may see, we need to build an aspiration system. We are jointing the boards to bring one face into a flat plane. That's the first time we use this machine we've just restored. If that is of some interest to you, here is the link for the video we made about the restoration. By the way, we know this machine lacks safety, so we use it carefully and it did the job quite alright given it was out of order for at least 35 years. Once again, the aspiration system might be useful, so we don't waste time doing this. The planning unifies the thickness of the boards we'll use glued together for the panels. Our machine is not very powerful, so each pass plans a few millimeters at a time. And the planner also will surely benefit from the aspiration system. In order to square the edges, we don't have a joint fence, so we use the saw. We are using biscuit joiners to solidify and ease the gluing. Thanks to all these previous steps, we managed to glue the boards together and form the panels we want. You can see 3 panels and one is shorter than the others. You'll understand its use at the end of the video. There are some gaps between the boards, but we can even it with our belt sander. We make a router template guide for the angles of the panels. Here comes the bed frame. After making this video, we realized there is a large amount of sawdust that is blown into the air each time we use the format saw. We thought about the ear and eye protections, but not enough about the masks. Our joint tables are short and these boards are long and thin, so we take time feeding forward and the result is not so bad. We use some firewoods for the parts we can't see from the outside because we liked some boards of basswood. We cut a rabbet joint for the slots. We lack precision with our cuts, so we change the saw blade. The bed base is similar to the bed frame, but we purposefully made it apart. We want the hanging system of the bed to use threaded inserts positioned in the panel, so that it can have two main positions, one high enough to be used when she is not of age of standing up on her own, minding the backs of the parents, and one completely down when she'll be more grown up. For the foot of the bed, we made a template, though they are all identical, with a few concentration. We determine where the legs cross. We use the router to make a notch highway, so we obtain a cross halving joint. We use a template to make holes for the dowels, but we still had to mark where to drill because it has very little precision. And we still didn't like the results, so we added screws. And now the cord sides. We make the holes for the railings, which is fun and kind of satisfying. we had to cheat and buy wood rods we will use as railings because we don't have the time, nor the machines, nor enough basswood, and not even the knowledge to make it ourselves. The first tricky part is to make each railing fit into the side. We had some fails. The second tricky part is to put it all to dry so the railings are perfectly perpendicular to the sides and base. Luck has to do with the final result. And the last tricky part is to get rid of the dry glue marks without damaging the whole thing. And last but not least, we decide where to put the brass inserts so it all falls into place nicely.